we're going to be talking about persona here, and I'd like to think about that in some ways, about what, if you can turn to your partner and give a few ideas about what you think your persona, what is your persona maybe today? Because we have many personas, I hope, that we can be flexible in some way. So if you would just share with your partner what you think your persona is today. My persona today is teacher. And so there are other parts that you are seeing besides that persona that's coming out. So if you would just take a few minutes with that now.
Okay. Any surprises? Any surprises come out in your conversation?
Some
No
introverts
surprises.
are saying, don't say anything.
Okay, go ahead.
That's fine. Okay, so moving from Chagall's imaginary place, let's look at a few slides. This is, I don't know how you pronounce this Italian designer, but this Giambattista Valli is a designer, and this is some of his work. You see this on the net, so I'm sure some of you have seen this. Of course, our home girl. So, of course, persona in the words everyday usage is a social part we take on. It's a role. And originally from Latin, which means mask. Used in theater, you know, the famous smiling and tragedy, the Greek. So we're just going to keep going over this because you know it. But more than this is the way we learn to not show our feelings and thoughts. I'm going to show you a clip, a movie clip from The Help. And you're going to observe, a little bit later on, facial expressions, and you will be able to recognize persona and shadow and complex issues in this little clip. But let's go on here. And what I'd like for you to imagine here, this is Baran. This is the mask of goddess of the day who does battle with god of the night in Bali, and neither wins. So to me, that's like shadow and persona, you know, it's eternally there. It's a Spaniard on his horse in a celebration. So let's come back to this one. We think about the associations of fashion and makeup, modeling, theater, brand names, our cultural identities. So what's the opposite of our view of what is fashionable or what is acceptable for me? I mean, maybe the way you dress. What's the opposite way that you dress, or the way that we're dressed here?
Well, I can give you another little piece, which would be, I don't normally wear makeup, but I put makeup on today because it's part of the persona that I'm playing, and I always feel a little bit comical when I do. I feel a little bit like I'm a clown.
Send in the clowns.
Yeah.
It's okay. So let's go with the next one. Here's makeup with an interpretation of a person, a character that takes beyond the personhood.
It's playful.
And then this one is sort of, I wouldn't say, I think some friend said, this seems a little psychotic, so I don't have this one up very often. But it's the filter, our mask has to do with our protective sense. It also helps us learn to meet the world, of course. So we learn the persona, of course, from our caregiver, our immediate surroundings, and it's an adaptation that we need to have in order to survive. Persona has to be flexible to adapt to many external cues and moves. It helps us to know to deal with the other in us, which we in our world talk about as shadow, and our complexes is meeting the other within, as well as the other we project on in our outer world.